Hi, besties. Okay, it's been a while since I actually said that. It hasn't been a year, but I feel like it's long enough to really change me a little bit. The last time I posted was in July. Can you believe that? July last year. And since then, I feel like I've been in a really quiet season, you can say. It's not quiet like nothing's happening, but it's quiet like God is doing things in me that don't need an audience yet, if that makes any sense. And I think that's why honestly I stepped back, because I didn't want to get on here and just talk to talk. I wanted to come back when I can actually be honest and kind of grow within myself. So it's kind of good to be back. This is like the comeback. I don't know where I'm gonna go from here, but I just wanted to make an episode just to talk to you girls and just hang out. So grab your coffees, grab your energy drinks if you're driving home. I hope that this can be a little bit entertaining for your drive, and let's just have my favorite girl talk. So, since July, a lot has changed. I just want to give you a little bit of a life update. At the beginning of this year, I started my little juicery called Sella Juice Club, and honestly, it has been such a blessing. It has brought me opportunities I didn't even expect. I've been able to show up at events, I've been able to connect with people and really start putting roots down in my city. And more than that, I've met some really amazing women who aren't just connections but are actually becoming friends. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Like in my city, I'm finally finding my people, right? So it's been actually really special for me, especially in this season where I've also been learning how to be okay with being alone. And if you know me, that's something difficult for me, right? Like I'm learning to be okay with sitting with myself. God has been teaching me how to be content by myself, but also reminding me that I'm not alone. And I am learning this at the age, oh my gosh, I'm going to tell you guys my age. At the age of 35, I am learning that it's okay to be content with sitting by myself, and learning that even in those seasons where I might feel lonely, I'm not alone. And at the same time, I've distanced myself from a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. And not out of bitterness, but out of growth. And that hasn't always been easy. In these past couple of months, I've needed to really listen to myself and place those healthy boundaries. And it hasn't been easy, but I'm learning that it's necessary. A big part of my life right now is my kids, especially Rosie. Rosie just turned 12 last month, or no, what, 2 months ago. And I've been really trying to be intentional with her. She's in competitive gymnastics and her practices are long. When I say long, I mean long. Like she is starting 4-hour practices. I believe she's going to be like 12 hours in the gym. And they are extremely long. And guess what I've been doing? I've been sitting there sometimes for hours just watching her and being present. And it isn't like easy, but it's been doing something in me. Because growing up, if you didn't know, my dad was a pastor. Yes, I am a PK. And I love him and I respect him so much and I miss him every day. And honestly, it's weird because it's been what, probably like 14 years, 12 years, I'm not sure, then that he's passed away. I feel like it's getting a little bit harder, like watching my kids grow up and him not being able to see it, because I know that he would enjoy it so much. But if I'm being honest, there were moments where I feel like I came second. Maybe that wasn't the reality at the time, but it was my perception. It felt like people at church knew him more than I did. And that was always so hard for me. And I remember being young and I remember how that felt. So now, sitting through those long practices, being there for my kids is not just about gymnastics. It's me choosing to be present, because when my little ones turn around and see me sitting there cheering them on, I know that being present in that moment is where I need to be. It's me making a decision that my kids won't have to question if I was there. Even if it's inconvenient, right? Even if it's for hours, I want them to feel like they had me. And that's what I've been doing, right? For almost 4 or 5 days out of the week, I just sit through practices. And in the middle of all of this, life is lifing in the middle of everything. I can say that Rigo and I have grown a lot too. And I think one of the biggest things is we're actually becoming friends. I know that sounds so silly because we've been together 14 years and we've been married for 14 years. We got married really, really young. I don't know if you heard my episode with him, but we kind of spoke about that, how we got married quick. We had kids quick, and I was a baby when I married him. But I can say that this season, we are actually like becoming real friends, not just doing life together, but enjoying each other. I'm learning how to be his friend, not just his wife. And that's been really, really sweet because I'm learning to hang out with him again. I'm learning to just be friends. And of course, my mom, I've been soaking up time with her more than ever. And I've realized something. She's really the realest one on my team. She's been consistent, solid, and there through everything. And I think in this season, I've learned to really value that in a deep way. Spiritually, I've grown a lot, but it hasn't looked loud. It's actually been really, really personal. I even took a step back from EHAS, and it kind of hurts. It stings saying that. I've took a step back from the virtual Bible studies. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. From the virtual Bible studies we were having. And the reason why, it was just to really seek God and figure out where he's leading me next, because I don't ever want to just do things out of routine. I want to be led. And I'm learning that it's okay to pause, to not have everything figured out, and to just sit with God. And honestly, this has been one of my favorite seasons yet. And even physically, I've been working out a lot more. I've been on a calorie deficit. And to tell you that I've been hungry is an understatement, but I'm learning to care for my body. But it's deeper than that. It's not just about how I look. I'm learning discipline. And even being in a calorie deficit has taught me spiritual discipline as well. It's about stewardship. The Bible says that our bodies are temples, and I've been learning how to take care of mine, not just for appearance, but honestly with intention. I'm learning consistency, something that's hard for me. If you know me, I mean, hello. I stopped, my last episode was in July. So I'm learning to be consistent. I'm learning to show up for myself, for my kids, and those that are around me. And I think if I had to describe this whole season, it's been a season of becoming quietly, slowly, without needing to prove anything to anyone, and just honestly growing. And I didn't have words for it before, but I think I do now. So, yeah, this is where I have been. And honestly, I think what I've been learning in this season is how to be okay with becoming someone new. And I don't think we talk about that enough, because I think as women, we are always evolving. And I've probably said this to myself so many times. Like, I've outgrown versions of myself. And I'm learning that that is okay. It's okay becoming someone new, even in your mid 30s, even in your 40s, even in your 50s. It's okay to become someone new. And I don't think we talk about that enough, because everyone celebrates growth, right? But nobody really talks about how uncomfortable it actually is. Like, growing obviously sounds cute until you realize it means outgrowing people, outgrowing conversations, outgrowing environments that once felt maybe, who knows, normal to you. And suddenly the things that you used to be okay with don't sit right anymore. And that's where I'm at. The things that you used to laugh at don't feel the same. Have you ever been there? That you might be sitting at tables with people realizing, man, I'm outgrowing this. The things that you used to run to maybe don't fulfill you anymore. And you're kind of left in this in between season, an in between place. You don't fully fit where you used to be, but you're not fully where you're going yet either. You're just maybe in that middle spot. And that space that could feel really confusing, it feels real. Because maybe you're like, why do I feel different? Why don't I enjoy the same things anymore? Why do I feel distant from people I used to be so close to? And if I'm being honest, there were moments where I questioned myself, where I questioned, am I changing too much? Am I pulling away too much? Am I the problem? And maybe you've felt that too. But I think what I'm realizing is sometimes you're not the problem. You're just growing. And growth will naturally create distance between you and the things that no longer align with who you're becoming. And I've been holding on to this verse that says, he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. And you know what I did? I wrote down this verse on a piece of paper and I put it right next to my nightstand. And every night before bed, I look at it and I remember that it is okay to feel the way that I'm feeling. And honestly, it's been grounding me because even when I feel unfinished, I'm learning that God isn't. Even if that means I need to regrow the spaces that I'm in my mid 30s. God isn't done with me yet. Even when I feel like I'm in the in between versions of myself, He already sees the finished version of me. And maybe that's where you're at too. Like you're in between versions of yourself. Like you're not who you used to be, but you don't fully recognize who you're becoming yet, because I know I'm there. And that can feel super uncomfortable. It can feel lonely. It can even feel a little scary. But I just want to remind you, you're not doing something wrong. You might just be in a season of growth, and that is okay. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, for everything, there is a season. And I think a lot of us struggle because we don't want to accept the seasons that we're in. We want clarity right away. We want things to make sense right away. We want to feel settled right away. But growth does not work like that. I wish it did. I always say this. I wish Jesus can just come down and have a coffee with me and just tell me, okay, this is what I'm doing with you. Be patient. This is where we're heading. Like, it would be so much easier, but it doesn't work that way. Sometimes growth looks like confusion. Sometimes it looks like distance. Sometimes it looks like things are slowing down when in reality, God is just being more intentional with you. And sometimes God is teaching us how to slow down, like actually slow down. Because I've always been the type of person to move fast. I have an idea, I want to do it now. I want to do more. I want to be more. But this season for me has been quieter. It has been more intentional, more personal. And I keep going back to this verse. This is what grounds me. Be still and know that I am God. Honestly, there's times where my brain is just running at 1,000 miles per hour. And I just need to remind myself to be still and know that He is God. And I feel like God has been reminding me that I don't have to rush to become who He's calling me to be. And if I'm being completely honest with you, there were moments when I didn't even recognize myself, not in a bad way, just in a wow, I'm changing kind of way. And honestly, it felt scary because you start to realize you can't go back to who you used to be, and not everyone is going to understand who you're becoming. And the Bible says, do not be conformed by the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We need to renew our minds every single day. And honestly, that is real transformation. Real transformation means that you can't stay the same, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it costs you your relationships, even if people don't understand it. Before we end this episode, I just want to leave you with something to think about. And this is something that I journaled about. And this is honestly what made me want to come back to my podcast. I felt like God was asking me, are you in a season where God is asking you to grow, but you keep trying to stay the same? And I honestly wrote this down in my journal and just sat with it. I remember just writing this down and just looking at the question. And I had to really sit with this and understand that growth a lot of times stretches us. Maybe you're holding on to people, maybe you're holding on to habits or a mindset that God is quietly asking you to release. Or even this, have you ever been rushing your season instead of letting God fully do what He's trying to do in you? Have you been rushing it? I just want to remind you that you're not behind. You're not too late. Even in your mid 30s, like me, God is not confused about you, even if you feel confused about yourself. And the Bible says in Isaiah 43:19, see, I am doing a new thing. And sometimes new things require letting go of what felt familiar. So, with all of this, I just want to remind you that it is okay to grow. It is okay at whatever age you're at, maybe 16, 15, 18, 12, 23, and even 45. It is okay to start over and let God show you who He is. I just wanted to come on here just to talk a little bit, have some girl talk, and I hope you can come back. If this is maybe your first episode, right? Or maybe, I don't know, you don't really know the exact season you're in. I don't know exactly what this new season of this podcast will look like, but I do know this. I want it to be real, I want it to be honest, and I want it to actually mean something. So if you're still here, thank you. And if you're new, welcome. We'll all just figure this out together. Bye, besties.